What is up, peeps? Coach Kev from the porch. Beautiful day. Summer has finally arrived in PA, I think. Looking forward to it. Swimming tomorrow for the first time with the family. A Sunday tradition in the summer. See my nephews, brother, sister, mom, dad, everybody. Brooke comes up, so we have a blast. Making some Coach Kev burgers tomorrow. Maybe I'll show you them in a video. I'm sure you'll be thrilled with that. Got to go golfing yesterday in the mayor's outing. It's one of my jobs as union president. I have to attend all the golf outings and drink free beer, although they didn't have any gluten-free beer, so I had to bring my own, but that's okay. Delphi, all kind of shit going on, right? The court filing things aren't my bread and butter, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they are. But interesting with the dates coming up next week, what'll happen, what'll be discussed. I'm not really sure there. I always tell you I go back to two shows, the defense diaries and the prosecutors, who are obviously slanted their way, both of them. But somewhere in the middle, if they're both agreeing on something, you usually get, the facts of the case. Fig's latest video is fantastic. It was about a 40-minute, one of probably his longest one. And he brought up several good points. And one of the good points, one of the funniest points is people really believe that Judge Gall was his aunt. And there's people that still believe that. But free country, right? Stupidity is not a crime in America. And I'm sure everyone that watches this witnesses that every day in their personal lives at some point. But anyways, were the other people that were involved in the case, and I think that there are, but I don't think it's necessarily hands-on in the actual crime. Afterwards, I don't know about prior. I still think that there's some kind of connection to Klein, that Keegan Klein, to the Dropbox, to the Snapchat account, and there's a good chance that more and more I think that he might have never have known Richard Allen. Personally, he knew a name. And I think there's more coming from that. And that's got to be an exhaustive investigation. And keep this in mind, too. Every time the defense says, you had 5 years to produce this and produce that. Well, who were they going to produce it to? They didn't have anyone under arrest. They didn't have any attorneys. So the more and more that you see, like I told you before, they know this one lied. They know there's no DNA. They didn't have all the discovery yet. So there's no way they could have known that. And again, can they lie? No. But they could say, well, Tony Liggett said this. Well, when we hear the deposition, there's probably a pretty good chance, in my opinion, that we're going to hear that he didn't lie, that he said what he said. Maybe he didn't say it with the best, coming from the best place, or explain himself the best. I don't know. It's speculation for all of it right now. But to say that and to not know what your discovery has, then discovery sits places for a week. Then Baldwin says what he says about Gall in court, like under his breath, but people heard it like, holy shit, man. People say this has gotten personal with Gall and the defense team. And that certainly is possible. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. It's like an umpire or a basketball referee. If you keep riding him and it's a close call, he's a human being. He might side the other way in something close. But I think the defense also has a bug up their ass. So these three people kind of really dislike each other. I don't think after this case is over, you'll ever see them sharing lunch or coffee or anything like that. But it is what it is now, right? Everyone is dug in. Nobody wants to go back and retract anything they said. Nobody wants to admit that they're wrong or this or that. And the other thing that Fig pointed out was absolutely fantastic, and I think it's the key item. Nobody had Richard Allen on their bingo card for doing this, right? Nobody did. People could say this and that, and but nobody came out and said, hey, it's the guy that works at CVS, the guy you get your prescriptions from. Nobody said that. And that's a big problem with people. So now they're justifying, well, we knew we were right because we didn't come up with him. We came up with all these other people. I don't see any way that Odinism is going to get in based on my limited law knowledge. And if you read the statutes and if you listen to what people say, nexus is the big word. How do you put Brad Holder into the nexus of this crime when he's not there? And he probably has the best alibi out of anybody in this case, right? On video in his truck. So how do you do all that? I don't know. The geofencing thing going to have to be explained to me a little bit more. We'll see what they're saying with it. And another thing that's interesting, could this affect future cases? Not that it matters with Delphi, but could McClellan, what he's saying about geofencing and Rozzi and Baldwin, what they're saying about it, could this come back and haunt them in future cases they have? I'm sure they probably can. Meaning other people say, well, hey, in this case, you said this or you said that. Just something a little interesting as this chess game plays out, because that's what it is now. It's a chess game. And it's a game of life and death for Richard Allen, and it's dragging the families through unimaginable hell, which is the worst thing of all of this. But, you know, when this trial is convened and it's over with, it goes through its motions and it's over with, I think that the families are going to have the last laugh on that. And it has nothing to do with the guilt of Richard Allen, because there are going to be people that have some things to, you know, they're going to have their comeuppance. And the universe does that, man. You have to sit back and watch people do, you know, they're going to say this. People are going to continuously get more unhinged as time goes on. As they see that they were wrong, they're just going to and just keep throwing whatever against the wall. I mean, you're going to hear craziness. But not one of those people will ever tell you what Richard Allen's alibi was, because he doesn't have one. Remember, O.J. Simpson had a better alibi than Richard Allen. Brian Koberger. Who else? I'm trying to think of some people that have had some insane alibis in the past, but at least they've had something. But they're going to go through all this. They Franks motion us to death. Holy shit. 5 more Franks motions and we can have a baseball team. We can have a starting lineup. Just the same stuff over and over again. They listed 100 reasons to wah. Here's 100 reasons where Baldwin and Rosie say wah. I'm a layman in law, so maybe I'm wrong, but that's how it comes off to me. I mean, it's just like it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. But through all that things, through all those documents and everything they put out, never once an alibi. You gotta, if you want me to believe he's innocent, you gotta tell me where he was first. You have to rule out the people at the scene first, okay? All the other crazy horse shit that people try to push, all the family, this, Mike Patty on a fucking canoe. Are you kidding me? It's more likely that aliens came down and did this crime than that. I'm not really arguing with them anymore. They say what they want to say. I mean, do what you want to do, but, you know, at the end of the day, people are being exposed for who they really are. So sit back and watch. I've said that over and over again, and I've seen other people say the same thing that I've said multiple times, and that's okay. Imitation's the greatest form of flattery, right? We all have a chance to turn it around, right? Until you're putting that box down for that dirt nap, you have a chance to turn it around and say, hey, look, hey, life led me this way. There was things going on in my life that led me this way, and it's explainable, and I realize it, and now I'm going to try to mend my ways or whatever have you. Will people do it? That's going to be up to them. Ultimately, we'll all be judged on our own acts. And, you know, in a place in my life, I'm very happy. And like Jay-Z says, when the director yells cut, I'll be fine. Hopefully everyone can say that. But tune in. I'll be going live next week. I'm not sure when. I'm going to let the big hitters and the big dogs do their thing with this court stuff. Frank Meister, hopefully that tooth's getting better. We want to hear from you about what's happening, what's going on. So very interested to see all this and how this plays out. And we'll see. I think it might even make a continuance out. There's so much. I read probably 60 pages of things yesterday, and I read them twice, and I still didn't understand a lot of them. So I won't come here and tell you I know the legal mumbo jumbo. But check the people out that you trust on that. And watch and see if I'm right. As this thing gets closer to October or whatever happens, it's going to get worse and worse. It's not going to get better. And I think right after, in my opinion, the conviction of Allen, that might be the apex of what I would call like probably the Delphi craziness. That'll be the apex of it. I'm sure it'll be an appeal, and they'll be like, oh, the judge was mean to me, so he didn't do this, or whatever they'll come up with. We found Odinist, and this is like satanic panic in the 1990s, Odinist sacrifice, and how people have clung to this thing. You know, I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your Saturday. Hopefully the weather's good where you are. It's going to be beautiful here today and tomorrow. Back on the hamster wheel Monday. Guys have been busy as shit today. They've run a couple really bad wrecks, one fatal. So if you're in your car driving around, pay attention. Always wear your seatbelt. Please always wear your seatbelt. It's vital. It gives you a fighting chance, right? So that's it. I'm going to leave you go. And I'm going to go hang out here with Kyrie, the dog, who has tangled himself up in a chair like he does sometimes. And that'll be it. Look for me next week. I might be pumping out another video or two coming up here. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit your notification buttons. Anytime I do anything, you could check it out. And for subscribers and the people that watch me all the time, I really, really appreciate the views and appreciate all the support you guys give me. You are fantastic, and I love you. And I'll leave it at that. Coach Kev out.